What's up, everybody? So, today, I plan on doing 2 videos. This is gonna be like a double upload. I'm gonna do my weekly recap, but right now I want to single out a specific issue and just give my thoughts on it. And that is that Uber has yet again come under fire because they have been basically snitched out by a couple of their former drivers for using a program that they call Greyball, and which is part of a larger program that they use called VTOS, or Violation of Terms of Service. Now, essentially what this is a program that is designed to stop people who might be a threat to Uber drivers or competitors trying to disrupt their service or collude with authorities on undercover sting investigations to try and disrupt their drivers, things like that. Now, the odd thing about this is how the system seems to work. And how it seems to work is that it immediately, when it identifies one of these individuals, has the drivers who have confirmed the pickup cancel, and then it seems to send them or change them over to a fake Uber page, where the cars going around on the map are not real cars. It's all just like a bullshit lookalike. Now, the reason that they've come under fire for this, other than the obviously kind of strange and sketchy way that they enact the program, is that in cities like Boston, Portland, in countries like Australia, where Uber, and especially their cheaper UberX program, have been deemed illegal, they have used this to essentially circumvent authorities being able to stop them from operating in those cities. In other words, when police or code enforcement in these cities tried to contact Uber to get a driver to come out and pick them up so that they could ticket them, they would use this Greyball program to thwart those authorities' efforts to try and catch them red-handed operating in these cities where they've been told not to operate. Now, I have mixed thoughts on this. Firstly, I would like to say that obviously circumventing the law, if it's truly illegal, like I would say is probably the case in Australia since it's a nationwide issue, definitely is troubling, and the way that they do it, the way that they implement this violation of terms of service system, or Greyball, is kind of sketchy to me. Like, you would think that they would just pop something up that says, you are in violation of terms of service, we have decided not to allow you to purchase an Uber or, order an Uber or whatever, something or other. We have kicked you out of the app, we've suspended your account, whatever. Instead, they kind of go about it in a strange way that makes these people think that the app is still functioning. And that kind of makes me feel like you maybe know you're doing something wrong here. Otherwise, why would you go about it that way? Now, that having been said, I would say that in most of the cities where Uber has been prevented from operating, there is probably an already sketchy reason that they've been prevented from operating. And that is the way that certified taxi services, like the official taxi services, work. For those of you who don't know, in a lot of places, especially major cities, being a taxi driver is essentially a pyramid scheme. Now, the way it works is, there are a lot of, like, entry-level taxi drivers who drive under somebody else's, medallion license, and they give a cut back to the person who has the medallion certification to operate a taxi. And that person, you know, probably operates the taxi themselves for part of the day as well. And that's how they make money. And then they use these unlicensed drivers who are paying a fee to the licensed driver to operate their vehicle. In sort of the setup of a pyramid scheme. And ideally, for these unlicensed drivers who are paying the licensed drivers, what they hope to achieve is to save up the astronomical amount of money, often in excess of $10,000, that it costs to get a medallion certification, and then be able to operate their own taxi. This is kind of a, like, bar to entry for people in order to keep the competition narrow and small. And it is pretty much supported by lobbies to the local government, by the Taxi Driver Association, or whatever similar entity exists in that city. In other words, it's an illegal union. You know, so it's kind of a strange situation, because on one hand, you can't really applaud Uber because they are blatantly doing something very sketchy. Whether or not it's actually against the law is up to people who have far more legal experience than I do. However, at the same time, you can see that they are obviously standing in opposition to a program which is designed to keep people who really need the money from entering a field that would be ideal for them, especially if they already own a vehicle, have a driver's license, and all that. You know, it's an issue of the fact that right now, the way that taxis are operating is an impediment to free capitalism, as it should be here in the United States. In other countries, I can't really speak with such authority because they are not founded on the same principles as here in the U.S. So I'm specifically kind of referencing how this program has been used here in the U.S. Now, some notes on this are that they say that the usage of this program in the U.S. was very narrow. It was mostly used in other countries. And also that it appears, at least from the information I've been able to gather, that this program has not been used since 2015. So while this is kind of fresh news, it's actually an old occurrence that just took a couple years to get found out and put in the news. So that's my opinion on that. Let me know what you think, if you have an opinion on this. If not, then I'll see you in the next video, and maybe you'll have an opinion on that. Peace.